Stories from every age. Join us now, turn the page. From the big screen to the small. It's Geek Week, the podcast of the year. Join the fun with laughter and cheer. Toys collecting and tales from the past. Tune in now, the good times will last.
We dive into movies that make us dream, with memories like a childhood theme. TV shows that caught our eyes. Let's collect the moments and rise.
Like, share, subscribe, don't miss out. It's Geek Week, the podcast of the year. Join the fun with laughter and cheer. Toys collecting and tales from the past. Tune in now, the good times will last.
Like, share, subscribe, don't miss out.
Hello, welcome to the Geek Week, episode 182, with me, Jacob's Toys, and of course the wonderful one and only, very Christmas-looking SuperSorrell. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. Do join in with comments and chat along, join in the conversation as we go. We do appreciate all of you. We'll get to you as we go. Let me just give a couple of shout-outs. We've got Shelley in the chat, Andy Roberts, Joshy Boy Toys, Thomas the Tank Fan. Who else? John Hood's in there as well. Joby One's there as well. Bethany Beth as well. All good. We will get to you as we carry on. And if you're not watching us live and watching us on repeat, like we know a lot of you do, Mr. Sorrell, what is it they need to put in the chat?
Hashtag catch up crew.
There we go. Hashtag catch up crew. We're like 10 days away from Christmas, Sorrell.
We are.
It's proper Christmas. It's proper Christmassy now. Like,
mate, did you not have Christmas today in your house? Because I'm not sure if it's like a thing in your home, but mine obviously, as you can tell from the stupid little hat, this is like a thing in England, by the way. I know our American fans are probably confused to hell as what that is. But hang on 1 second. My mum does this stupid thing every single year where she has fake Christmas. She has a Christmas before Christmas, right? Because like she'll get like me and my brother together, obviously, and then she'll make sure everyone's like ready for everyone's well, everyone's like, and then she'll do Christmas because she's always guaranteed that one of us will be ill, one of us will be hungover, someone will be drunk, someone won't turn up. So mum does like a Christmas before the Christmas.
That's wicked. No, we don't do that. I might have to start like introducing that into our family. That's really cool, though. I like that. That's a really cool idea. So, do you get presents as well, or is it just
no? It's just like like at 4 o'clock today. We're around my mum's. We all had Sunday lunch together, and now I'm sat here with a marshmallow hot chocolate.
Oh, that's awesome. We had a very Christmassy day though today. So we went and had lunch with Santa, which is always quite cool. All the school stuff has all been Santa and elf related. So they've had like Santas in and elves in and that kind of stuff. And today we went and had lunch with Santa. So there's a tea room near here where we live. It's about 40 minutes away from where we live. And they've got like these pods that are kind of like, I've lost Sorrell. I'm telling a story and I lose him. But I'll carry on with the story while we're waiting for him. But yeah, they've got like pods that are like kind of left over. I suppose they're left over from like COVID times, but they've got like these pods. It's all right. Sorrell said, I'm here, stupid PC. We'll get him back up. But yeah, they're these pods, and basically you go and you hire out these pods, which are really cool, and they're heated and everything like that. And then while you're eating, Santa kind of comes round and kind of talks to the kids and, checks whether they've been nice and all that kind of stuff. And then gives the kids a present, and it's all really cool. It's all very, very, very cool. There we go. Sorrell's back. I just thought you didn't like my Santa story.
See ya.
Yeah.
Have you been following what's been happening in Disney World with Tally the Elf? Are you on Tally Talk?
Yeah.
Have you been following it? I think it's so funny how many people have been following it.
Yeah. People are really losing it over him being like named and stuff, aren't they?
So there's, just for everyone else in the chat, there's a guy in Disney World. He's a part of the Christmas parade. He's called Tally the Elf. His whole shtick is he's got a list, and he'll come up to people in the crowd and he'll sort of say, "Are you? Can I take your name?" And he'll take your name, and he'll either say you're on the naughty or nice list. But obviously, He's a young lad. He's going up to young girls and stuff and going, "You're naughty, you're on the naughty list." So there's
And
a
he's
lot of middle-aged.
brilliant. He is brilliant.
brilliant
at
at
it,
it.
isn't he? He's really,
And
really cool.
so there's a lot of like young and middle-aged women that are kind of like attached to this now and have called it Tally Talk, and they're all over TikTok with videos of him. But the thing is, people have gone to the extent of finding out who he is on social media and leaking his actual details, like doxing him. So Disney World have had to like move him in the parks. He's no longer in the parade now for his own safety because people know who he is and where he lives and things. That's just beyond creepy.
It's really, really extreme. Like,
and Disney will put a thing out saying this is why they tell their staff not to have social media accounts when they're in the character program. It's, well over their work there, it's in the best interest to not be on social media because you are recognizable around the world.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. And then there's other people posting video clips and kind of jumping to his defense and saying how awful it is that they've kind of named him and kind of exposed who he is and stuff. But yeah, the guy's like, yeah, he's made it as an elf, let's put it that way. Yeah, we went and saw Santa, had lunch with Santa, and then after that we went to one of the houses around here, which he has to give you an idea of how many lights there are in his property. He told us that there's 87 switches that he has to turn.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane. His whole house and driveway is covered. There's music blaring, there's inflatables, and he raises loads of money for air ambulance and everything like that. He's been doing it for 19 years, 19 Christmases. But he said this is his last one because he's had a death in the family and stuff. And he just can't manage it next year. But this will be his last one. And it actually made us quite sad because we've been taking the kids to his house and like donating like every Christmas for years. And we were like, oh, this is like one of our traditions. Like, what are we going to do next year? But it's stunning. Like, it's absolutely stunning. Like millions of lights and inflatables and stuff. Like, and it's not a big house. It's like a regular kind of 3-bedroom semi-detached house that he's just caked. But people drive from all over to see this house, which is really cool. So that was kind of our Christmassy day today. Tac Toys is in the chat. He said my dad had no idea what mince pies were and Christmas crackers when he first came over to the UK 50 years ago. Yeah, there's some bizarre. I don't think do other countries do Christmas crackers?
I think America slowly adopted them over the years, but I don't think it's still widely like a thing, is it? It's like a proper British thing to have a little crappy hat and a joke in a piece of cardboard that goes bang.
No, like I'm not a fan of mince pies, I'll be honest. And that's just because as a kid I thought it was like mince, like bolognese, and I just couldn't get my head around it. And then I kind of found out about Sweeney Todd and it's just mince pies were just not my thing. My kids love them, but I just can't. I'm like, but crackers. No, I read about this the other day that not other countries don't do crackers, and the idea of having kind of explosives at the table is like really beyond them. And I was like, but I was disappointed this year as well because a lot of the crackers that I came across in the stores have really rubbish presents in them, like paper Sudoku and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, no, give me like a little screwdriver set or a, like a ring or something. But I don't know. Shelley said, I'm with you, JT. Mince pies are gross, and as a kid I thought it was mincemeat. Yep, I'm behind you. Joby once said, you know what, I've never seen Santa, George Lucas, Jerry Garcia and my dad in the same room at the same time, so I'm starting to get suspicious. Not far wrong. Those are Santa things. Have you Christmas films have you done any Christmas films yet?
Yeah, done a couple.
Have you done that Christmas yet on Netflix?
Oh, the new Netflix one. I've not sat down to that yet. So far, we've done Jingle All the Way. That's always first on the list for me. We've done Jingle All the Way, Home Alone. What was the one we watched the other night? Oh, we watched that stupid Last Christmas with Daenerys Targaryen in it.
Oh yeah. No, I'll tell you what. That Christmas as an animated film, I think it could become a favorite. It's really pretty. Like very well done animation wise, and it's a really like heartwarming story and stuff. Like my kids love it, and us as adults are like, oh, it's a bit hot in there.
Yeah, it's written by the people who did Love Actually, isn't it? Isn't it written by the people who did Love Actually or something?
Oh, is it? That makes sense.
Yeah.
That'd make sense.
So it's like quintessentially British, and it's like they say all the Americans will love it because of how charmingly British it is and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. Andy Roberts said, I watched it with my daughter and we both loved it. Yep, I'm with you, Andy. It's a really good film. And then I watched Carry On as well last night, which is
Mhm.
the new I can never say his name, but the guy who played the gorilla in Sing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can never say his name.
I can never say his name, yeah.
But that's like they're kind of penning it as like a Die Hard style Christmas film, because it all takes place at Christmas, but it's got nothing to do with Christmas. But obviously Christmas is like the background theme. And so we kind of had a debate in our house whether it was a Christmas film or not. And I was like, listen, if you're debating this, then we're going to open the can of worms about Die Hard. And that's not something I want to do this side of Christmas. We will just accept that this is a Christmas film and enjoy it. Merry Christmas. It was all right. It was all right. But yeah. It's all. Thomas the Tank Fan. I'm not sure what you're saying, but I finished my Gauge 1 Thomas the Tank Engine prop replica from season 1. Hey, if that's true, I'm proper impressed. Also, Shelley said the Santa with Jack Black. That was pretty good.
Oh, that looks funny. I haven't seen that yet.
I don't think I've seen that one yet.
This is basically about a kid who writes to Santa, but he's really bad at spelling.
And writes
So he
Satan.
sends to Satan.
Yes.
And then Jack Black rocks up.
Yes. That actually looks quite good. That does look quite good. Speaking of Jack Black as well, where's your head at with this Minecraft controversy?
I'm so excited, mate. I'm so
really excited. Yeah.
And the fact that it's him and Aquaman. I mean, that's the most unlikely of combination of people.
Yeah. People are like, there's a lot of controversy on the internet, and people are like saying that this is awful looking or it's fantastic looking. But like my son's 5, he adores Minecraft and he's really excited because he's not looking at it and going, well, Steve doesn't look like that. He's looking at it and going, oh, look, there's that and there's that. And there's, I think it looks really good. I think it looks really good. I'm excited for it. Shelley said there are some Minecraft Easter eggs in the Santa. I'm not sure I'll sit down and watch that one with my 5-year-old though. I'm not sure if that's the right one, but I'll tell him about it, Shelley. Thanks very much. So how's your week been in general? What have you been up to this week?
Good. Not a lot, to be honest. Obviously, it's coming to that time of year where, I say not a lot. I've been to Smith's and I spent a fortune. But other than that, I don't really do much this time of year. It gets too busy to film any toy hunt videos. Like I did a massive toy hunt today, on Saturday, and I couldn't film anything because it was that busy in the damn shop.
Oh, I know. But, it's very different, isn't it, this time of year?
Yeah, but no, I'm just chilling. To be fair, just waiting for it all to blow over, so to speak.
Yeah. As you know, I met up with our friend Steve Evans yesterday. And we went on a toy hunt in Nerdbase. For anyone that hasn't seen it, I've uploaded the video so you can watch us kind of, dive through Nerdbase. But it was really cool. It was really cool to meet up with Steve in person and chat about, I think how he put it was the good, the bad, and the ugly of everything going on and all that kind of stuff. We talked HasLabs, we talked Legends, we talked Star Wars, we talked the Retro Collection, we talked Ghostbusters, we talked G.I. Joe a little bit, and we talked other brands. It was really, really cool. But even Nerdbase, which is like quite a distinctively niche collector shop, was rammed, like absolutely rammed. We still managed to film, but you can probably see from the video there was a lot more people in there than when I've been in there previously. But it's that time of year, isn't it? It's Christmas. People buying stocking fillers and that. And I did purchase something while I was there though, and I have to show you. I have to show you what it is. So 2 things boxed and 2 things not boxed. So the first 2 things boxed were Ghostbusters. I needed to get her just because I need her and Gozer, but and then I've got the whole setup, but I thought I'd pick her up now because she was really cheap. And then I picked up Lucky as well from the first one because she was dirt cheap, because I need her and Trevor to complete the Build-A-Figure. And then obviously I've got another Ghost to go on the shelf with the XO1 and all the rest of it. So I thought I had to pick those up. So they were a must-have. Then to round out my my Jurassic Park vintage collection.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
But what was really cool is that he comes with a dino and his gas mask.
It's
complete. So he is completely complete. Although I'll take all the gumph off because obviously the other ones I've got are not They're just loose as they are. So I'll take all the Gumph off and put him there. But then there was one other thing that I had to pick up. So the original series of Jurassic Park figures were obviously 5, weren't they? So
Yeah.
I've got these ones are here that I've already got them. They're all beside me. So I've got those 3 and Alan Grant. So obviously Nedry was the last one out of those original 5 to complete my lineup.
Who is the blonde guy meant to be?
This
The
one,
yellow suited blonde dude. Who is that meant to be?
that's Muldoon. Oh, I know. Nothing like him. So, but Nedry obviously rounds off. But what was it we said about the Dennis Nedry figure? I haven't even got him out of the pack yet.
But it looks not like.
It looks nothing.
Oh, but it looks like Ian Malcolm.
It's nothing like him.
I thought it was Ian Malcolm for years.
Thought it was Ian Malcolm. So yeah, if you take the, like, you can see he's a bit more kind of rotund, shall we say, than Ian Malcolm's character. But I completely get where you were coming from.
I think it was the shades. It was the shades and sort of it was that, I think, more than anything.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. What's really cool as well is that he's got a little. You can fill that with water, and then he's got like a little squirter. But he also came. I don't know if you remember, but they used to come with the little baby dinos. I really want to pick all of these up now because now I've got this.
See, that makes sense now that he comes with that one. As an adult looking back, it makes sense that that's Dennis Nedry and he's got that one. So okay, I get it. I do get it. But it took me a long bloody time to get it.
We said that he looked like Ian Malcolm. So when I saw Ian Malcolm on the shelf, I couldn't let him go. Let him go. He was only a couple of quid.
And he one of the hard ones. Is he the retro one as well from Lost World? He quite hard to get hold of now. The Lost World ones. I never see the Lost World ones in the Comic Cons up north. I only ever see the original Jurassic Park figures. I very rarely see Lost World.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons why I picked it up. So, and it was cheaper than the Dennis Nedry, which I thought was bizarre. But what's really cool, and it still works. I just need to. I want to fold it up off screen to show you. I can't remember how it goes though. Oh, hang on. Can't remember how it goes, but it's got his little that flip out, like his little jetpack that flips out. So yeah, so
he never used in the movie.
He didn't use in the movie. Okay, there you got your little push release button. I can't remember how it goes. I did have this one as a kid. But yeah, when I saw this, I was like, no, I have to get Ian Malcolm. Like that's a must have. That's an absolute must have. Because now, even though he wasn't in the original kind of lineup, he's an original character. So I've now got him, I've got Ellie, I've got Dr. Grant, and I've got like a little Batman-esque thing. So yeah, so I'm happy. But now I've got him, and he's obviously from the Lost World one. I might have to source them because he does look a little bit different to the original ones.
Yeah, he does.
Do you know what I mean? He does.
You can tell he came a little bit later on.
It's just a little bit better made. Let's just see if I can. It's a little bit better made. Just looks a little bit. Just looks a little bit better, but it's still a retro Ian Malcolm figure in a black jumpsuit as well, which is quite cool. So yeah.
Up my way, there's in Newcastle way. They've got a shop. I think I've told you about it before, called Rex's Reviews. He goes to all the Comic Cons that I go to and stuff like that, and he always does this. He's got like big Jurassic Park dinosaurs, and he's got the Jeep and everything. Yeah, he's got a shop just solely dedicated to Jurassic Park merch, and awesome. The amount. I mean, I visited a couple of times, and it is amazing.
Yeah, 100%. When I come up your way, we'll go there.
Have to venture.
It's got to be done. What cracks me up, I went to a Comic Con a little while back, I think I told you, with my son, and it was only one of the little kind of sports hall boot sale West Comic Cons, and there was a table there that had a lot of Jurassic Park merch. It was a mixture of kind of new and old stuff, and they had like an Indominus Rex kind of on the top of like one of these shelves kind of thing, same one that we've got in our toy box that belonged to my eldest son and now my youngest son plays with. And this geezer walked up and he was basically dressed as Alan Grant with a you know, they're like the baby dinosaur puppets where they
Yeah.
like kind of looks like they're holding them. He had one on each hand, and he's obviously walking around the Comic Con as like a dinosaur Jurassic Park-esque person. And he goes to the guy, went, "Oh, how much is that? That is it grey? That grey one at the top there?" And I thought, "Don't act like you don't know the name of that dinosaur." And he was like, "Oh, it's £45 or whatever it was." And he was like, "Oh yeah, my son really wants that one." And I thought,
Yeah.
why are you putting on an act? Like, you're literally dressed as a character from Jurassic Park, holding two dinosaurs. Don't pretend that you don't know what that one's called. Like, own it, man. Just go like, listen, I love Jurassic Park. Want that one? How much are you gonna pay? But yeah, it did make me laugh. It made me laugh.
Best thing to do is to get 2 or 3 things. Throw them off. You want to throw them off completely. But you sort of say, I'm looking at that one, that one. And what's your best price on them? That throws most people off the scent completely straight away.
Yeah.
Get a bundle deal out of someone.
But no, I was really happy. So, spoiler: there was a part of the video yesterday in Nerdbase. They've got lots of Detolf cabinets, and they're all locked, and they have like loads of kind of traded in figures. So there's everything from like carded Gladiator figures to Power Rangers to Jurassic Park, like all these kind of things that you've kind of not seen since your childhood. And then they've obviously got shelves laid with stuff as well. And Steve saw a noddy, you know how he likes his kind of distinctively English stuff,
British,
right? And he saw a noddy figure that he didn't have. And so he asked the guy to open the cabinet, and he was like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely going to take this. This is really cool." And right next to that cabinet was the Jurassic Park one, and I'd seen the car, and I was like, "Oh, do I get it?" Like, and then he had the keys, and I was like, "You just open it." And then as soon as I moved the car, I saw Dennis Nedry and Ian Malcolm, and I was like, "Well, I can't let you lock that cabinet now." Those to come home with me. So yeah, but I was well chuffed. So yeah, rounded out a little collection quite nicely there. Just a couple of shout outs quickly. The man collects is in the chat saying, "What's up, everyone?" Obi Kenobi has joined us saying, "Hello there."
Mate, I bought something Star Wars this week.
You what?
I bought something Star Wars this week.
What? Something new? No. Like purchased or pre-ordered?
Yeah, not purchased.
Wow.
So I was in Smith's, and do you remember when Hasbro a little while ago did the Mash'ems? Remember the Mash'ems?
Yeah.
Your kids probably had them, where you could break them apart and rebuild them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, Hasbro are bringing back that line.
What?
And I know they're now calling it Mix. What's it called? It's now called Mix Mashers. Okay. And they had a bunch of Spider-Man Miles Morales, Spider-Man Peter Parker. They had a Thanos, a Venom. Nice. And then tucked away in the little corner was little Boba Fett.
Oh wow, he looks cool.
So it's based on the Book of Boba Fett. You can tell from the black on the armor.
Yeah.
This is a more modernized version, and as you can tell from the packaging, they're going to be making a Darth Vader, and then what I found, you can turn it to the side, and you can see they're going to make a Darth Maul, Chewbacca, a Stormtrooper, and on the back as well, they're showing Mando. So they've got a whole little, but yeah, I couldn't resist it. You're like £8. I'm like, I'm taking you home.
You know what? For that money, they're quite nice figures to have anyway.
Yeah,
like they're well made, and I suppose for like not a casual fan, but somebody that wasn't looking to spend the higher prices on things, you could get a decent kind of little figure setup.
Other than Turtles, it's the first time I've seen Hasbro venture back into action figures for children.
Right.
Because, like, Turtles still do it. Like, with the Turtles movie, they've got all the, the reasonably priced sort of like £7-8 figures. But Hasbro used to do it. If you remember, I used to buy all the 5 POA ones and review them back in the day. That came with the little stone pieces and all that stuff. And I used to love collecting them because they reminded me of my childhood. But they stopped doing them. And then they stopped doing the Star Wars 5 POA. And it seems like they just solely focused on a collector's market for a long time. So it's nice to see that they've gone back to like a toy for kids again. Yeah. Because that's something I can like mess about with in some videos, and then my daughter can play with it when she comes in the room, and it's not like a toy I have to tell her to get off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, definitely. Oh no, they're wicked. I have to keep an eye out for them. But they kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't see any kind of real announcements for them or anything.
Nope. literally have come out left field. They've got a whole Marvel line out, and then the Star Wars ones are meant to be due out in January. But that for some reason have just sneaked out on the shelf with the rest of them. So
nice
to pick one up.
nice.
Other than that, though, I mean, this week I went a bit overboard. I'm not gonna lie. I went a bit. I said I wanted an empty bag in the room for Christmas, and I didn't want to overfill it, and I wanted to start the new year with a means to go on, and nobody believed me.
I didn't believe you for a second. I just humoured you and nodded and agreed.
Well, it's now ridiculous again. It's back to being overflowing.
There it is. There it is.
But I tell you what, they did have this week. All the Doorables are marked down to $5. These sets used to be about £12 a pop. Yeah, they're all now marked down to $5, and they've got the blacklight ones as well. So they've got blacklight ones and the regular ones.
Is that because the line has kind of died a little bit?
No, it's because the new ones are due out in a week.
Right. Okay.
Basically, Doorables. If you play the waiting game, you can always get the just before the newest line comes out. You'll be able to get a shed load of the old ones because Smiths want rid of them, ready for the new line to come in. They sell really well, the Doorables, and I think the markup on them's quite high. I've got to be honest, because if they can sell them for $5 now, you know what I mean. That clearly the markup was pretty quite high on it.
Well, I've seen them in shops like B&M and stuff, like popping up in there, and you don't really see any marketing for them. If that makes sense. I don't anyway. I don't know whether that's just me, but you don't really see a huge amount of marketing for them. But I think they're a cool little figure. They're the kind of thing like my daughter would absolutely love.
My daughter's a lot of her friends like collect them and they trade them when they get doubles back and forth and stuff. And I even seen that people in the parks in Orlando have started using them to trade and things like that instead of pins, because not everyone wants to collect pins. So there are people collecting the minifigures and then trading them in the parks now and stuff. So it's cool to see, and I like it. I like stuff like that. I like when there's something that's fairly inexpensive that kids can collect and trade. You know what I mean? I like that.
Yeah.
Takes me back to my old Pokemon days.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I think they're really cool. I'll have to have a look. Especially if they're reduced that much. I might have to pick up a couple of boxes and have a look.
It's just worth it to be fair. It's just worth it for stocking fillers. And I tell you what, the Disney Munchlings, they're little. They're based on little. I ain't going into hand to show you, but they're based on like food. So like you'll get a Mickey cinnamon bun, a cinnamon swirl in the shape of Mickey Mouse, and they smell like cinnamon buns. They smell like cinnamon.
Nice.
You get 4 in every pack, and they're down to £2 each. And they were like they were £10 a pop and all. And they're down to £2 each in Smiths. I said to Lynn, I bought a boatload of them just to play with on a video because it was fairly inexpensive to do. And I'm a big Disney fan anyway. But I said to my wife, let's bag a load of these for Paige's, Christmas stocking. So I bought 3 or 4 Doorables, 3 or 4 of the neon ones, and then Munchlings as well, and just whacked them all under the Christmas tree.
Yeah, no, nice. I'll probably go down there tomorrow. Now you said that. That is not a bad shout at all, especially because my youngest daughter as well. She's really into, like, my eldest daughter was caught up in the Shopkins craze.
Yeah.
Remember when that hit really hard and everything, like they were ridiculously expensive, and there was like knockoff versions of them and everything. But we've obviously kept hold of them all because they're, they cost a lot of money, but they're a good little play toy. And now my youngest daughter, that's what she plays with all the time. So the Doorables will kind of fit in nicely with that scale. So,
well, I guarantee you, once I show you this one, you're going to want it. One sec.
Oh, here we go. Now you're going to get me chasing them. I don't want to be chasing them, Sorrell. I don't want to be out you can't even hear me. I was like, I don't want to be out chasing them. Don't give me a chase figure to try to track down.
No. It's one of the rarer ones in the pack, but they're the £5 a pack, and you can get him quite easily. A pixelated Wreck-It Ralph.
That is cool.
You can get a Vanellope von Schweetz that matches him, and you can get the Fix-It Felix. And so I've been hunting down all the little Wreck-It Ralph characters to put on my display. Cool.
That is
so obviously I've got my massive display of minis now, which I'm incredibly happy about. I'm loving this stupid little display over here. I love it.
Oh, cool. That will go nicely with my little pixelated.
Oh mate, I bought a bunch of them this week. I'm trying to track down the pixelated ones.
It's not even going to focus, is it?
Sainsbury's have got them in for £2 a piece now.
Have they?
I
think they're really cool. I think I've got all the pixelated ones.
You got all 4?
No, tell a lie. I need. No, I've got 2 of the pixelated ones.
Well, to get excited, I know that Funko through Hasbro. They're about to announce, it's not out yet, but it's all over the internet. They're about to announce that they're going to do the Power Rangers in that same like itty bitty line.
Nice.
And there are going to be pixelated Power Rangers because of that Rita's Revenge game that came out.
Amazing.
Yeah, so they're going to do pixelated versions of them as well. So to have pixelated Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will be awesome.
No, I've got all three. I've got all three. All three. I've got Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Raphael pixelated and normal, and I need Donatello in both. So Donatello is the kind of one I'm chasing.
He'll be the chase one, won't he? There's 4 chases in every series.
So if I can get Donatello in normal and pixelated, then I've got the full set. So they're the ones I'm chasing. And they've just reminded me, so now I need to hurry up and try to find them. Just gonna yeah, so there we go. But yeah, Christmas. So we're obviously talking Christmas this week. And then the theme we put in this week was obviously Christmas themed action figures, top 10 Christmas themed action figures. I didn't think a huge lot about this. I'm not going to lie. I didn't put a lot of thought into it because I thought it was quite easy to do. How do you want to do this?
To be fair, I didn't realize we were doing it as a top 10. I was just going to have a discussion and just throw up some of my favorite sort of ones I made over the years, basically.
We'll do that and we'll pretend it was a top 10. So this is 10 of our top Christmas themed action figures. There you go. That's a nice thing. I just thought when I started looking into it, I was like, actually, there's a lot more Christmas themed action figures than I think people realize. Because obviously there's all your kind of your obvious ones like your Star Wars Black Series, your monkey Fresh Monkey Fiction figures. Obviously things like Nightmare Before Christmas, your Gremlins, all that kind of stuff. But then there's also other figures that have incorporated Christmas, like Fortnite figures obviously have incorporated Christmas. There's things like the NECA Misfits. Obviously they've got a Santa version, haven't they? There's Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, there's Five Nights at Freddy's. There's Batman, the animated series. There's that Joker, isn't there? So there's loads, but there's also like superheroes with Christmas hats and stuff. Like I don't know if you've ever seen like the holiday editions of like Batman and Superman and stuff. Like it's insane. There is Christmas themed things everywhere. But so I didn't really put it into a top 10 either. I was just kind of like, well, I don't even know what I'd start with as my top Christmas themed figure.
My top Christmas themed figure is this guy. I'm sorry, bro. I love him to bits. I would never let this go in a million years. I would never sell this guy on now. He was a Walmart exclusive. It's from Fortnite. Yeah. He was a Walmart exclusive, and it's from when Jazzwares had the line. I just love it so much. It's just such a good little figure. It's so articulated. It's got so much articulation for a cheap, how cheap it was. I think they were only about 15 quid when they came out. They weren't expensive. And I got this from the Entertainer because the Entertainer got him in of all people.
Oh, wow.
And so it was hard to get as well because it was like a chase figure, so it was hard to track down, but I managed to do it. But yeah, I mean, like they recently did, Funko did Turbo Man, didn't they? Not long ago. You could get an actual Turbo Man.
Yeah, you know what? That was actually gonna be kind of the top of my list because they've redone. They actually released the figure, didn't they? Like in the packaging, as close to the prop in the movie as possible. I thought that has to be the best Christmas figure because it's pulled straight out of a Christmas movie. But then I also wondered as well, so do Marvel Legends, like the Hawkeye figures that they released, that's obviously a Christmas-themed series. And then they released both Kate Bishop and Hawkeye from that series. So I was like, well, do they qualify as Christmas figures? Because they're dressed the same way as they were in a Christmas show. So maybe. What I really tried to find, and I struggled to find, was like the most bizarre Christmas figure.
All right.
If that makes sense, like the not the most, the kind of most out there Christmas figure I could find. Yeah. The one that for me stood out like a bit of a sore thumb was the McFarlane Toys, the Batman Saves Christmas figure. Have you seen that one?
Oh God, yeah, that's awful.
Where it's basically, if you haven't seen it, for anyone that's watching, it's basically Batman with his Batman cowl on, with a Santa like robe and gold kind of accessories like cufflinks and stuff, red trousers, his black Batman boots, and a beard, like a big Santa beard that is obviously fake because you wouldn't be able to grow a beard that long, that quickly. Oh, and a sack. He comes with a sack of golden presents as well. So I for me, that was the most kind of out there Christmas figure above all of the Star Wars versions. This one it's almost like someone at McFarlane went, oh, look what Hasbro are doing with Star Wars. They're making Christmas themed figures. Let's do it with Batman. But yeah, it didn't work. John Hood said there's also a Holiday Optimus Prime based on a Marvel Comics cover from the mid-80s. Yeah, that's another one.
The my favorite ones, obviously, you've got like the Nightmare Before Christmas, which is obviously a big Christmas line. They've been knocking them out of the park for years over at Diamond. NECA have now got the license, though, so I'm intrigued to see how the new NECA ones hold up at the side of them.
Yeah,
I'm really intrigued by that. But being Fresh Monkey Fiction, I wish these were more readily available in the UK because I would literally own every single one of them now. I would every year I would be buying that line.
Yeah,
and
they are
it
really
bums me out that they're not available over here.
They are really cool. They are really cool. They're, what do they call it? Naughty or nice line?
No, so you got Fresh Monkey Fiction who make naughty or nice. They are also the people behind Monster Force, and then recently they did that pumpkin one as well, which I can't remember what they called that line, but there was like a pumpkin guy as well for Halloween.
Yeah.
So they sort of like go heavy on the sort of themed festive, like figures. But they've got some really cool ones. Like there's like a G.I. Joe Santa.
Oh, I know, with like an army helmet on, and it's just what I really liked about that line as well is that they went down the route of elves and nutcrackers and reindeer. And obviously different versions of Santa. I do need to pick one up. I do need to get like a Santa figure, but I just don't quite know where it would fit, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
I think I'd have to go for like I couldn't have the pirate one. Pirate one wouldn't fit. I almost want to kind of go from the more horror looking one so that it can kind of go with some of the horror figures I've got, but
they've even done. I'm not sure if this is one of the newest ones, but they have done like a lumberjack Santa as well in like a red and green checked shirt, which is quite cool. But then there's a barbarian Santa as well. Yeah, the Viking barbarian one looks cool.
Yeah, that one does look very cool. I like the kind of Krampus figures as well that they made because they're built on the same buck as the Santas, so they look really cool with the horned heads and stuff. They did a wizard one as well, didn't they?
Yeah, he's in the blue. I'm not a big fan of that one. So AliExpress are showing us having them at like 21 quid a piece. Just whether or not you want to use AliExpress or not. It's a bit. I've had bad experiences on there.
I think that they're more than likely knockoffs.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Only because if you look at somewhere like eBay, for example, if you're picking one up off eBay, it's going to set you back kind of between 60 and 70 quid plus tax, plus shipping, all that kind of stuff. If you're obviously, you can't order direct, can you, from them? Because they don't ship to the UK.
I wish they could.
Yeah. So I think if they're on AliExpress, I think they're probably knockoffs. But I might pick one up. Just to see what it's like, to see whether it is. Because there's a lot of stories about AliExpress. And they do a lot of good stuff, but then people do say that some of the stuff that they get through there is genuine, and it kind of turns up. And how it ends up on AliExpress, I don't know, but you really are taking a gamble because most of the stuff on there is kind of your
third party product.
Your kind of stock photos, your like stock photos and stuff. And I've ordered a couple of things off there, and I've known at the price that they're going to be a knockoff, and they've come through, and I'm like, yeah, this probably isn't even worth the money I paid, let alone more. But then I have had some stuff off there and kind of gone, wow, this is actually worth a lot more than what I paid for it.
I'm trying to find my. Where is it?
Shelley has just said very quickly, I love my NECA Santa stripe and picked up the NECA Xmas Chucky figure. That's quite cool.
The NECA
John
Chucky's
Good
amazing.
said, my NECA Santa stripe and gizmo are on my Christmas tree. Have you got any figures on your Christmas tree?
No.
You know what?
My wife draws the line at that.
I didn't think I had, but I've had a skeleton Jack on my Christmas tree for about 7 years. And I genuinely, it was only when I didn't have anything to do with putting the tree up this year. Every year I do. And this year my wife did it with the kids and that kind of stuff. I think it might have even been while we were on a podcast and I came in and then it was all set up. And I was like, oh, Jack. And then it kind of like, I remembered and I was like, yeah, we put him out every year. So he just sits on my tree. And because they're so thin and like dangly anyway, it works really well as a Christmas ornament. And he's just kind of sat there on the tree. It's an interesting question though, like whether people actually have figures on their tree. John's obviously said that Gizmo and Stripe are on the tree, and that kind of works because obviously there is that scene in Gremlins where the Gremlin's in the tree. Scared the life out of me as a kid, not gonna lie. That scene where the tree is rustling around and she goes up and then it comes and then it scratches all her face. That done me as a kid. Really done me as a kid.
If you're gonna get the if you're gonna bother with the not naughty and nice figures, the Krampus is nice, but I'm sorry, nothing holds a candle to the one from Four Horsemen.
Yeah, that's
the Four Horsemen Krampus in red. You can get one in black as well, but I like the red, and I just think that's so cool. He's got like you can't really see it on this camera, but like this part's green, and it really does look festive. And then recently, I pulled apart a couple of my other ones. Because I wanted someone for him to fight, because I don't want him to fight Santa. Everyone's got him on the internet. Everyone's got him posed up against Santa. So I thought, who does Santa send to go rein in the Krampus? Only Krampus's brother.
Like it, the good Krampus.
Well, he's on the same. The thing is, he's on the same Krampus book as well. They're on the same legs pieces of it's identical for the waist down.
They go, they're twins.
Yeah,
good twin, good twin, bad twin. Here we go. Shelley has also said that her Stripe and Gizmo are on her tree as well. So there we go. You've got John and Shelley both putting Gizmo and Stripe on their tree. I wonder how many people put those figures on the tree. We should do a poll maybe one day.
I'll take a photo tomorrow and send it to them.
Yeah. We need to do a poll. I think, see how many people put Gizmo or Stripe on their tree. Bethany Beth said, I remember these online store I want to use. Its online store has vintage and retro figures. You've been on the eggnog, Bethany Beth. I'm not sure what you're saying.
Which store, Beth? Help us out. Which store are you using?
Helps out here. Helps out a bit. But yeah. Joby1 says, I've got the all-white Christmas Wookiee Black Series figure on my tree. There we go. There are people with figures on trees. That's cool. I saw a post where somebody had done like a Marvel tree, and it was like basically all figures. And it was clearly set up for the photo, though, because the figures used were readily available, kind of like the Titan series figures and stuff like that. But I just thought that's a really cool idea. And the amount of people that tag me in it every year and go like, oh, is this going to be your tree, Jake? And I'm like, no, not allowed. Our tree is strictly Disney. Like we've got all Disney ornaments and everything like that. So yeah, here we go.
Beth come back and says that there is actually a website called I Remember These, and it's a vintage toy website.
Okay. I remember these. So that's actually what it's called.
Yeah, it's called I Remember These.
I just thought you were drunk because that sentence makes no sense. The store the store called I Remember These. Yeah.
Oh no! Don't go on it. Don't go. Beth, what have you done to me? What have you done here? My God,
I'm going on there.
I wouldn't. You'll fall into a world of madness.
Is it? I don't know if I like the look of this. Oh. Right.
There's an awesome 12-inch stripe on there. There's a talking Casper the Ghost. Reboot. My God, Reboot.
Wow.
I've fallen down a rabbit hole now.
This is a rabbit hole. They're relatively well priced. I think.
It's not bad.
Yeah, relatively well priced. I'm gonna have to. Oh, this looks amazing. This
Power
looks
Rangers
incredible.
Micro Machines. Nope, coming off. Power Rangers Micro Machines. I owned those as a kid. It's the Zords. Micro Machines, the Zords.
Oh, this is even better. There's Slimer at the bottom of the page saying, "Look out for the original TV ads hidden amongst some of our listings."
God.
Oh, this is a rabbit hole. You can shop by brand, shop
Yeah.
by era. This is a great website. They got look at this. Barnyard Commandos, Food Fighters. You can shop with McDonald's is on there as a brand.
Crazy, isn't it?
Wow, this is a wicked site. Right, I'm gonna look at one thing. Let me look at Jurassic Park just because we've been talking about it. Oh, I like the tagline at the top of the website. Free trip down memory lane with every purchase. You know what? That's not too bad. That is not too bad at all. The Ian Malcolm glider pack from 1997 that I purchased for a couple of pounds is on there boxed for £35. So there we go. That was a result. Oh, they've got Series 2 action figure. Oh, mate. Series 2, Alan Grant boxed action figure, £110.
Wow.
That's insane. That is insane. They've got the original boxed figures. Wow. The original Dino Strike Velociraptor from 1993 boxed and in a case for £75. They've got t-shirts that I used to have as a kid, but they've got a lot of boxed figures. This is insane. This is actually insane. How many boxed figures they've got from Jurassic Park?
I've logged off. I can't look at it anymore. I can't.
But you know what? They've got
I'll be poor.
They've got the 1993 Tyrannosaurus Rex boxed, the electronic Tyrannosaurus Rex boxed for £160, but you can get the new one. So, why would you?
Yeah, but it's not the retro one, is it?
No, this is very true.
There are some people that are purists when it comes to that kind of stuff and they want the original.
Oh, they've got the Jurassic Park Series 2 Dino Raiders, the kind of fake characters that they kind of introduced. Oh, this is a brilliant website. This is amazing. This really is amazing. I'm just trying to work out from this picture how to make my Ian Malcolm work. Just how to make the glider work, because I can see the back of the box. Nope, no idea how that's going to work, but hey ho, see Ian Malcolm in a glider for £35. Right, I'm going to have to log off. I'm going to have to turn it off. Nope, I can't do it. Can't do it. Shelley said, "Oh my God, Bethany Beth, what have you done?" Oh, and it says, if it says found a home, it means it's sold. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. Yeah, that's a cool website. That is a cool website. But it does make me realize, like, when it comes to Christmas, because it's all about Jurassic Park for me this week. Picking up these figures, like I got the Jurassic Park figures around the kind of 1990. Well, it must have been 93 when they came out. So I got a lot of those for Christmas, and I was kind of at that age where I was on the fence that they were either going to go down really well or I was going to be too old for it. But I absolutely loved it and ran with it. But the one thing I didn't get was that like original yellow and green car. I think we've had this conversation before. And seeing
I was the opposite. I had the yellow and green car, but I never had the red one.
Yeah, see, I had the red one, and seeing the yellow and green one in the flesh in the shop yesterday brought all sorts of feels. I was kind of like, this is the one thing that I didn't have from that Jurassic Park collection, but I know that if I buy it, I will then have to repurchase everything. If that makes sense. And that sounds really like I had no willpower at all, but it's that kind of, because I'd buy in the thing that I missed, I'd feel that I'd need to recollect the collection. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I went to Smith the other day, as I said, and in the Jurassic Park section, they've currently got the T-Rex from Lost World with the, the big Jeep that falls off the side with Julianne Hough and stuff in it. not
Oh, have
Julianne Moore. They've got that as a play set basically now from I think it's Legacy Collection, is it?
Yeah.
That looks stunning.
Yeah.
It took all my effort not to buy one. But I got the a while back. I got the new version of the green and yellow Jeep, and it came with a Tim, because obviously Tim never came out in the original collection. Is it Tim or was it the girl? One of them. One of them never came out. Was it Lex?
That's Tim.
Sorry,
sorry,
Lex
him.
Never,
And...
Lex never came out in the original collection because it came with the one that was missing basically to go with your retro stuff, which I thought was pretty cool.
In the same scale and everything.
Kind of. It was the newer Legacy style stuff, but it was still cool to have her because we never had her. So
no, she was never a figure. Speaking of kind of that scale as well, one thing that is dropping now is the 3 3/4 inch Ghostbuster figures.
Oh yeah.
So me and Ryan were talking about it yesterday, and he had got a notification that his were on the way. But the one thing that we've not seen is the packaging for it. So you've only seen those promo shots, and Steve said the packaging for it is stunning. So I'm quite pleased that I'm still getting those, even though we've got the 6-inch stuff.
I'm thinking of the HasLab. Sorry, I'm thinking HasLab right now. You're on about the O-ring ones, aren't you?
The little 3 3/4 inch ones, yeah.
Yeah, because they're going to be O-ring art. They're like the old G.I. Joe style.
Yeah.
I believe.
So,
yeah. So I was going to say, I thought you were on about the HasLab, which I know because the figures in the HasLab aren't coming in a box, are they? They're just coming as part of the overall packaging.
They're just going to be it's going to be a box with everything thrown in there. So
it's a shame, really. It's a shame they're not all card back. It is a bit of a shame, but it would bump up the price, I suppose, as well.
It was the one question I asked Emily at MCM that I was curious about is that whether those, because we're getting 7 figures essentially in with that HasLab, and I was like, are they going to be carded? Because if they are, the box is going to be huge. And she said no, they're not carding them for the sheer fact that if they don't card them, they can fit more in the box, so they're able to produce more for the price point, which I thought was quite good. Had a really interesting chat with Steve actually about HasLabs and kind of general opinion on HasLabs, and how some people kind of think that they're cash grabs and how realistic it is for things to be made, because you do forget the price of tooling and stuff. So when you're making something, there's hundreds of thousands of pounds and dollars and stuff goes into the tooling of everything if they haven't already got it. But I'm excited for the Ghostbusters HasLab. I am excited only because it's very limited. There's only like 17.5, no, not even that, about 17,000 people that backed it. So there's only going to be a very limited amount in production, which I think is good, and that does make it more exclusive. Especially something like Ghostbusters. It's not going to go out of fashion. There's always going to be a Ghostbusters fan. Always going to be somebody. Always going to be somebody. So are you all done with shopping now then, Christmas wise, or have you still got things to hunt down?
For like Christmas wise, yes, I'm done.
Oh yeah.
Have I? Yeah. I've done like present. If you're referring to present shopping for other people, yes, that was done a long time ago. If you're referring to is SuperSorrell going to stay in the house for the next week and a half while the sale's on? No. I always do this where I say I'm housebound for the next 4 weeks. I'm not buying a thing, and then someone will pop up. Someone like Beth or Shelley or Brendan is on my Instagram, or people will just pop up and go, do you know these are on sale? I'm like, you motherfucking have to get up and go shopping. And I know as well as you do, someone's going to leak Lego. Someone's going to leak it early because they want to get the sales in for Christmas. Smiths is probably going to be the culprit. So I'm just waiting for the word that the stupid little green box minifigures have dropped, and I'll be down there like a flash.
Because they're due out the first, didn't you say?
They're due out the first in Lego Store, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got a feeling they'll drop just before Christmas. There's like a little boost of sales before the big day, I think.
I don't think you're wrong. I think
someone always leaks them.
I think we'll be seeing some Lego leaks. I really do. I've managed to actually clear my room as well. I didn't mention this earlier on, but you can probably see now there's like a new kind of stack of shelves and stuff there. That's kind of my room done now. And then basically all in front of me is all this space. I've got so much space for activities here. But I'm kind of done. So I will be doing a tour very soon, because I'm 85% of the way done. But I've got so many cool things boxed that I haven't got to yet. So I've got like all my Jada Street Fighters. I've got like Ghostbusters figures. I've got Turtles figures. Like, I'm really excited. All of a sudden, I've got shelves of boxed figures. I feel like I'm in a shop. I'm like, this is cool. It's like I'm in a shop full of things that I'd like to buy. Oh, they're already mine. This is great. So I'm watching myself this Christmas. There isn't anything that's kind of popped up on my list that I'm kind of like, you know what, I definitely have to have that. And I got Deadpool got sent to me the other day. They finally came out. And it is quite different than the original one. Like, there is some distinct differences between this version and the original ones that we had.
Is it his actual new suit then? 'Cause I know the suit is very similar in all the films, but the suit did change, didn't it, from film to film slightly?
This, I haven't done a side-by-side comparison, but upon initial kind of look, this looks very different. So I think the nice thing is the older one will still hold its, I don't want to say value, but hold its originality, if that makes sense. That it won't just be a Deadpool, that you'll have the option of the early one and not.
I didn't keep my movie Deadpool, and I really wish I did now. I might have to go with a new one. I didn't keep my movie Deadpool. I kept... It's in this bag somewhere. Sorry,
He's on display somewhere behind me. He's not in a bag.
Bethany said, I tried to link things you like too. We do appreciate it, Beth. We really do.
I do, as much as I joke about it, I do appreciate it, because normally you guys are faster than me at finding things.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
no,
I
we
do
do appreciate it.
I can't find it. I've got the is the X-Force one, the one that came on the card back for Comic-Con, I think it was.
Yep.
I've still got. It's that one I've still got.
Oh, really?
That one of all the Deadpools, I saved that one. I really wish I saved the movie one now, because the movie one would probably go better with all the NECA stuff and things. It's more like movie realized, isn't it?
Yeah. No, definitely.
But I tell you, yeah, Beth is the reason why my house has been invaded by Funko Pop, says Shelley. I like that. It's mine too. But did you see some of the new Funko Pops that are coming out? Oh my god! I think I'm going to be going all in on Funko next year.
Enlighten
me. Well, we're going to get Mars Attacks. Mars Attacks Funkos are coming.
Amazing.
And they're based. They're doing movie ones, but my understanding is that they will be doing Tops ones as well. The ones that are based on the original card artwork, as well as the movie. The ones that are coming out, I believe, are Tim Burton ones. And you can get the one with like a cracked helmet with the dead alien sort of inside it, and then there's like the regular alien, and there's some really cool ones. Yeah, there's some really good ones. So they look really awesome.
Nice.
I'm really excited for them. There's so many. I'm trying to think of what other ones off the top of my head, but there were so many Funkos that got announced the other day that are flying around the internet at the minute. I love a good Funko.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind if they're the right thing. I don't mind them. Like, I can't just buy all of them, but if they're the right thing, then I do like them. Like I said, I'm a massive fan of my Audrey 2. Like that. I did find it. It's up here on my shelf. Doo-doo. Right, this is one of my favorite kind of static figures, and it's I don't even know when it came out.
I'm pretty sure it's pretty hard to come by that now. You know that one.
2018.
You don't see it very often, that one.
There was a chase version that they did with like blood and stuff on it, but this was one of them random ones where I was in one of the shops that sell loads of Funkos, and I saw it and I was like, nope, I have to get it. But I'm just a massive fan of Little Shop of Horrors, and so it's the best Audrey 2 figure I've ever seen. And as an action figure collector, like, it just looks good on the shelf. You know what I mean? They did do like a little baby version of Audrey 2 as well. You know, like when it's like a little what's the word? Bulb, if you like. They did that as well, but I never came across that one. But I kind of want to get like the fact that they've done the 3 3/4 inch Ghostbusters has made me quite excited, because Ryan did say to Steve, he was like, "Oh, are we going to see more?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't work on Ghostbusters." But the fact that 3 3/4 inch figures, like, it's like quite good scale. Yeah. So if I can get a Ghostbusters Tully 3 3/4 inch in his kind of civilian clothes, I'd pick it up in a heartbeat because it would then just look like Seymour, and I could just have those two. So I'm really hoping we get a 3 3/4 inch Tully just so that I can kind of complete my little shop of horrors light setup. So
well, as you guys know, I am a massive Disney fan at heart, and they're doing a concept art series, and this is the concept for Stitch before it became an animation drawing. This was the original idea for Stitch.
Oh, nice.
And they're doing loads of them ones that are like based on the concept artwork for stuff, and I'm really excited about them because there's some really good ones. And do you know what else arrived this week, Jacob? And I know you're going to love this because I've realized what I've got behind me. I haven't shown you yet.
Oh, is that the what they call Fugly or something?
Fugglers.
You actually got one?
I got one. So it's the Fugglers Gizmo.
Oh, it looks like Gizmo if he'd been put in a microwave or something.
Yep. And if you want to know something really, really random about these, so I didn't know this at the time, and I'm like, oh, he's got a weird purple button on his butt. They all have like little buttons where the butt is, right? Yeah. Which is weird beyond weird. But they're all different colors, and in the rarity of the figure, they've got a different color, so it's almost like a chase one. So the regular Gizmo has a brown button, but if you're lucky enough, you'll get a purple button.
Oh wow!
So there's technically chase versions of these stupid plushies.
Wow! And the only way you can tell is by looking at its bum.
By looking at its butt.
Yeah. Wow.
Don't ask me why I was staring at Gizmo's butt, but there you go.
Yeah. In fact, that's a bizarre fact. Josh Boy Toys said we're finally getting an Astrobot Funko for winning Game of the Year.
Yes.
Nice. Nice. Speaking of games, did you see that new Amazon Prime show as well that came out?
I haven't seen it yet, but it looks awesome.
It does look incredible, right? I think I might watch an episode after this because I've just heard really, really good things about it. Did you catch Skeleton Crew this week?
No, I need to sit down and watch it. Is it good?
It's really good.
You can talk about it. I'm not bothered.
There's not really much to spoil. It just kind of expands more on what we've already known. So we got from the last couple of episodes that the planet they came from was not on the map anywhere and stuff like that. And Jude Law, there's something about his character that isn't quite right at the moment. And yeah, we were introduced to a couple of other characters on different planets, and they just kind of further solidified those things, that Jude Law's character is clearly someone with a bit of a checkered past, and that the kids now realize that they come from somewhere that can't be found, and if they go home, they're essentially going to be exposing this planet that's hidden away. So it's that kind of dilemma, but it's really good. It's really good, and it's so refreshing to have Star Wars that is different than the other Star Wars.
Well, in the words of Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi, how does a star system just disappear? And I believe the wonder of a child is it was erased from the archives, if you remember. Camino was erased from the archives. They didn't know Camino existed until episode 2. Well, this is another planet that is miraculously vanished from the solar system. No one knows where it is. It's not on any star charts. The Jedi Temple holds all the star charts. What's to say this isn't another cloning facility where they're working on reviving the Emperor? Because obviously this is in that time frame of the Mandalorian when they're going through the cloning thing. We mentioned cloning last week. I think this is one where the Empire are working on cloning.
Well, it's an interesting theory, and I think there might be some legs to it, because they were talking about what their parents do, and their parents all seem to do really like weird jobs, if that makes sense. Like it's all very, my person's an analyst and my parents are, whatever, and it's kind of stuff. So it's like whatever it is that the people on the planet are doing, they're essentially doing this job and then training new kids up to do it, because they obviously all have to take that test, don't they? And then they get their careers dedicated and stuff. So yeah, there's definitely something amiss about the planet.
That's very Empire. That doesn't seem very freedom of choice and to do whatever you want in the galaxy. That seems very much like this is a regimented way of living. That's something like that the Empire would put in place to keep people in line.
And I think it was either in episode 2 or 3 that they mentioned that going outside of the barrier was prohibited, like that you weren't allowed past the barrier. Pretty much like Moana, but it's, you know, you weren't allowed past the barrier, and you all do the jobs on the planet. So I think there's definitely something amiss. I don't think it's as simple as they're just in a planet. Am I lagging or are you lagging?
One of us, and I can't tell, but it's all right. I can hear you.
Yeah, it's fine. Hang on, let me shut my camera down. You talk. Let me reboot my camera.
Oh, he's left me in charge. Yay. But yeah, I definitely think there's something there. Also, yeah, like Shelley just said, also think Grogu will be mentioned. I think Grogu is going to be the one that appears in this. We might see a quick cameo from Mando, but this is going to be prior to Mando finding Grogu, as far as I'm aware from the timeline. So there's a higher chance that Grogu will show up more than Mando, unless Mando's out on an operation somewhere where these kids are. That could be an interesting way of doing it. And we're meeting Mando maybe prior to him sort of becoming the good guy with Grogu and stuff, and still being a bit of a bounty hunter. That could be cool. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see where it goes. It is definitely the funniest part of Star Wars we've had since Mando.
Yeah, 100%. Am I back?
You're back.
There we go. Thanks, Shelley. I think it was me. It was me. But yeah, just a couple of people here. Triple G Comics says, yeah, I'm enjoying Skeleton Crew as well. Shelley saying Skeleton Crew is awesome. John Hood, Skeleton Crew is the most fun Star Wars since The Mandalorian. And I do agree with your point. I think that because Mando is so much the face of Star Wars at the moment, especially for the younger generation, if they're gonna bring anyone into it, I think it will be something to link to Mando. So
yeah, I think they've been very coy when they said the whole, oh, this is not going to be linked to anything we've done previously. This is its own thing. I think that's a red herring. I really do. It's set in the same timeline as Mando. It's leading up to what we already know. I think the reason we've not had Grogu's sort of time before Mando explained is because I've got a feeling we're going to find out in the Skeleton Crew.
Yeah. John Hood said, At-Atin is a fun homage to how differently fans pronounce At or AT, like depending on which fan you are. I don't know which way I always pronounced it. I think I called him an At as a kid. Yeah, I think I said At. But At-Atin, that's cool. That is cool. I like the SME as well. Like I know that Sorrell mentioned it a few weeks ago, but the SM33 is like homage to Smee, and it's kind of been officially announced that is homage to Smee. But there's a lot of Treasure Island references in it, which I really like at the moment, and lots of little Easter eggs and stuff like that. But I'm just really excited to see where it goes. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm kind of looking forward to the next episode every time. So I am curious as to where it goes. I still haven't seen Venom: The Last Dance, which kind of frustrates me because for my sins, I have enjoyed the Venom films, and I know they're awful, but I have enjoyed them for what they are, not for the kind of the Venom fan in me. I know it's not comic book accurate Venom, but for what they are, I've kind of enjoyed them, and I just haven't got around to watching that last one yet. I didn't get to the cinema to watch it because it actually was released on my birthday. So I was doing other things, and then one thing led to another, and I just never got around to watching it. But it's now available to rent and download and stuff at home. So I think I am going to get around to see it. Shelley said, I watched Venom last night. It was okay, and that's only because Tom Hardy was in it. Fair enough. We're probably watching it for different reasons, I think, Shelley. Tom Hardy's actually a really nice guy. I met him when I worked on the set of Legend, and chatted with him for a little while. He's actually well down to earth, which I was really happy with, because he's one of them guys when you see him on screen and when you see him kind of in interviews and that, and you're kind of like, I really want you to be a nice guy, and I hope you are. My experience was that he was. So if that's any benefit to you, you're welcome. Definitely glad I didn't go and see it at the cinema. Well, what I read about it was that if you enjoyed the first two, you will enjoy this. You'll enjoy this film. So I did enjoy the first two. Speaking of Sony Spider-Man films, though, I was going to wait till Sorrel gets back to discuss this, but I'll bring it up now. Obviously, Kraven the Hunter is now near release, and we've had new trailers and stuff like that. They also leaked, and it's not a spoiler, but we did briefly see what looked to be Rhino in the trailer, and there's now been kind of images shared of what he looks like in the film. And again, the internet is divided over whether it's a good version of Rhino or a bad version of Rhino. And I'm a little bit on the fence. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, because he essentially looks like somebody that's half human, half Rhino. And for me, I think it's just the era of comic book I read, but Rhino was always a guy in a suit. Like he had a Rhino suit, and I just always remember thinking how ridiculous it looked because it was a guy in a big Rhino suit. Whereas this makes it look a lot more like an actual kind of Rhino. I won't say mutant because you can't call it a mutant, but like a Rhino hybrid, if you like. Sorrel's computer's dropped out, so I'm going to keep going until he gets back. I got a couple of other things delivered this week. I got you can see, where is it? Let's see if I can lean this way. I got a Gwen Stacy Ghost Spider figure to go with my Miles Morales hot toy, which is very cool. I'm very pleased about that one. And I also got a T800 Terminator by Preset Toys. I'm slowly building up my television movie collection in my hot toys. And I also got a David from Lost Boys. I didn't get the Sideshow one. Is it Sideshow or Hot Toys? They've got a new one coming out, but I got I think it's red band or something like that. But it's really cool either way, and it fits in my collection. So until I pick up that Sideshow one, I will happily include that one in my collection. I don't think I've got anything else new this week, though. It's been a relatively slow week. Obviously, with Christmas coming up, I don't want to buy a lot of stuff. But yeah, Shelley has just said, JT. Yeah. So there we go. So I'm just trying to think what else I got. What else did I pick up? It's been a really slow week. Shelley said, JT, please tell us where this money tree is. What, because I've been getting lots of 112 click. I'll tell you what it is, right? For those of you that have been watching the stream for a long time, you might remember that behind me used to be thousands and thousands of Marvel Legends, and now there isn't. And that's all it is. I've really slimmed down my collection, and I've only kept ones that are really important to me, because of the characters that they are or the comic book that it represents. So my Legends collection could probably fit in one Detolf now. So that's all it is. What it is, I've just recycled figures. Or I have a secret OnlyFans, mate. If I can make if I can make that work, I'd be all over it. But I don't. I'd have to pay people money. But no, the funny thing is, for me, Hot Toys was never like 1/12 scale, 1/6 scale was never something that I was interested in. Okay. Sorrel has just messaged me and said that he's can't connect. So he's trying to connect, and if he can get in before the end, then he will. But I'll round it up. I'll round the stream up. So 1/6 scale for me was always a little bit, I don't know. I didn't like them. I was very much 1/12 scale. I was 6-inch figures because they represented better what I had as a kid. And so getting the 6-inch figures were very nostalgic, and there was that element of it to it for me. And I picked up a couple of Hot Toys, and they just didn't sit well with me. I think my first ever Hot Toy was a Tom Holland Spider-Man from Homecoming. I think it was that one. And I got it and I put it on display and I was blown away by the detail, but it just didn't fit for me in my collection. And then when I there was a couple of others that I kind of really like the look of and I picked them up, and now I can't distinguish. Like, it's, if I want the representation of someone on my shelf, it needs to be 1/6 scale, because it's just so much more sort of superior looking, if that makes sense. Shenny's just said, I've actually got a 1/12 scale Hopper on pre-order from Compal, and I'm almost pulling the trigger on a Hot Toys I Am Groot. Groot's a good one, actually. I've got a little Groot here. It's one of those ones that some people really don't get on with soft goods. And I as well was one of them people that soft goods for me on action figures didn't work. But these to me aren't action figures; they're more collectible like items, and they feel a lot more like collectible items. I feel more kind of excited about having a collection of collectible kind of figures as opposed to action figures. The action figures I enjoy playing with my kids with and doing all that kind of stuff, and they're much easier to kind of do customization and action figure photography and stuff like that. But for me, this is much more a collection. I've got all my lights set up, so I will just show you before I go. But if I turn my main light off and then I turn my cabinets, whoa, look at that. So it does all light up as well, which is really cool. But obviously I need to adjust the camera so that it works properly. But yeah, so all my cabinets light up. I will do a room tour. I promise you I will do a room tour. Also want the Hot Toys Loki from the TV series. There we go. He's quite cool. There's so many different places that you can pick him up. There are places that have sales. What I've found personally is your main retailers don't tend to have the best deals, so do shop around and have a look. And of course, there's also Facebook groups and stuff like that. Right, just before I finish, anyone that's looking at the chat, Sorrell has said that his little one's being sick. That's why he can't get back on. So he has to go and be a dad, which is completely understandable. It's about time we're rounding up anyway. This has been our Christmas themed action figure chat and just a general chit chat. Anyone that's interested, you can check out on my channel now the shopping with Steve Evans video. It's quite fun and quite interesting to hear his take on certain things, and there's a little bit of insight there with certain things as well. So there's a couple of questions answered, but you know, that's what we weren't there to kind of pick his brains. You know that, you know, Geek Week and Steve Evans go kind of hand in hand. We're good friends, so I wasn't going to kind of absolutely rip him and try to get information out of him. We were there to just geek out and have a shop, so that's what we did. So that is on my channel, so you can go and check that out. Obviously, SuperSorrell has had to go, so I'm going to give you the hashtag catch up crew. If you are watching us on catch up, make sure you use the hashtag catch up crew. We will be back next week. I think next week we're doing our kind of Christmas theme show, and I think if all being well, we might have a special guest with Ryan Speaks Geek joining us for Christmas. And we're going to do like a Christmas quiz and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be fun. It'll be a bit of a fun one. Of course, if you've been here and you've been watching and joining in with the conversation and stuff, we do appreciate it. I've tried to get to comments as we're going, but obviously with internet problems and then obviously SuperSorrell having to jump off as well, it's been a little bit difficult. So if I've missed your comment, I do apologize, but we do thank you for tuning in and joining in. Yeah, that's about it. So from me, Jacob's Toys, and of course SuperSorrell, who's not here, thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you next week for episode 183. Until then, keep it geek.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Like, share, subscribe, don't miss out.